Welcome, all of you beautiful law school students. It's me, Leslie Juvenet, your friend and host at lawschoolforvisuallearners.com. So today in this episode, I'm going to share with you my exam secrets. It was taught to me by professor and lawyer Scott Carone. He's my tutor, and I've recommended so many people to him because he's a really good professor of law. And he helped me last year in 1L when I was just so overwhelmed with all of this like black and white, and put it into a concise way to facilitate my visual learning experience that makes it easier to A, learn the law, B, prepare for exams, and C, take what you know and what you understand and put it into a concise analysis on your exam day. And what has been great for me by doing this is that I was able to shave down 15 minutes of time from my 1-hour essay exam. So that actually helps a lot to go back and look at what you're doing. And it's also helped me to really laser in on the core issues and facts that are going to be examined in your final exam, or if you're about to take the bar, your bar exam. So what is it that we're going to work on today? The one key tool that I recommend doing is exam attack sheets. Now, what is that? So for every topic that you're in, you're going to have a set of substantive rules, and then you're going to have underneath that, when you're doing your essay analysis, those elements, those sub-element analysis. So for example, I'm going to do an example today with products liability, because that's a huge body of analysis. That takes in and of itself like the whole hour. And my goal for you is to get these rules and sub-element analysis in your mind subconsciously, so that way not only is it automatic memory, it's actually easy to do. So I'm going to share my screen with you and show you what I'm talking about. And this is something that you can create for yourself if you want to create your own attack sheets, or you can get them in my shop on the blog. But I wanted to help you figure out what is it that you're actually creating. So let's go. All right, so here we are. We are on products liability. These are my attack sheets. I have here page 5, but I have a body of rules that are common on exams. We have defamation, negligent infliction of emotional distress, which is, an injury flowing from the tort, products liability, nuisance, negligence, public disclosure of private facts, intrusion upon seclusion. These are some of the common issues that are on the bar exam and on your finals. So I'm going to take you to products liability, because I think this one is the bulkiest. It's a lot to memorize. So when you're doing your essay, not only are you doing the analysis, but you're actually trying to cram in your own insights. But how can you put in your own insights if you don't know what the substantive and the sub-element analysis are? So for products liability, this was such a breakthrough for me, especially when Scott Carone explained this to me. Here we have products liability. So products liability, you have what is it? You got to state what it is. A liability of a seller of a tangible item, which because of a defect causes injury to its purchaser, user, or bystander, can be based upon any of the 3 theories: strict tort liability, negligence, and warranty. So when you're doing products liability, you have to remember those 3 theories of analysis when you're looking at who's liable. So what I did was, thanks to his help, was break down strict liability, negligence, and warranty. Now, negligence is pretty easy to remember, right? Warranty, you've got a lot going on there. And not only do you have, for warranty, you have the defenses to all of this. You have assumption of risk, comparative negligence, contributory, failure to give notice of breach, disclaimers by appropriate language. So each and every single one of these analysis has a very tight description of what that rule or sub-rule is. And that is going to help you make an excellent analysis, a correct analysis, an exact analysis, and an insightful analysis based on the facts that you're given in your hypothetical. So here we got to prove 5 elements in strict liability, right? So we put, is it a commercial supplier? Is there a defective product? And then underneath that, you got to go even further. Well, what kind of defect is there? Manufacturing defect, a design defect. Design defect has 4 tests. You remember that. And the warning defect. And then you have your actual approximate damages and defenses, of course. And with strict liability, the compliance with industry standards, that's that one that you have to throw in there. So I organize all of this and I put those rules in there so that way I can memorize them. Now, how do you use this? Because this is a lot. So stop share. I'm going to look at you now. So you have all of these rules and you have these concise statements, and then you're going to put them next to your facts. And then you're going to make your analysis. But how do you get to that point? The first point is you got to memorize it. And again, you know me here at Law School for Visual Learners, we got to turn every rule, every study opportunity into an experience. And when we turn it into experience, it becomes subconscious. And then it becomes muscle memory. And that part of yourself that's automatic, your habits, your impulses, that instinct becomes fluid. So what you do is you print this out on a piece of paper. And this is what I did. I printed this out on some paper, and by hand, until I memorized it without even thinking, I just kept copying it and copying it and copying it and making it a part of my exercise. For products liability, I think it took me 2 to 3 days to get this down to where it was like I could see it in my mind. And I could just go section by section by section and write it down. I don't recommend seeing this and typing it. It's just not going to work, because what's the difference between typing an email and typing this on your computer? You don't have a differentiated memory, but you do have a memory of sitting down at your garden table or your patio or Starbucks or your study desk or your study room or in your bedroom, and you're writing this down over and over and over and over again. So you're creating memories. There's a big difference between that. And I stress that when you're studying is creating an experiential memory. So you create muscle memory, you create instinctive ways of executing what you know intuitively. So you do these essays, these essay attack sheets. And then the next thing you do when you're memorizing this rule is you find some hypotheticals that match. You'll go through the bar exam website in your state, and they'll throw out to you some sample bar exams. Look for the ones that have products liability in it and do those. And do it until you feel comfortable with it. I don't want you to just do this and think you're just going to show up on exam day or bar exam day and think, I'm going to get this. You're not. You're not. You got to do as many practice exams as possible. For me, before I took my final exams, I did 80 practice exams. And at first, it was just getting comfortable with issue spotting, making sure that I was able to spot those issues. Then the second part of that process was doing these attack sheets, memorizing those. And then the third time is timing myself and doing these attack sheets, and I would time myself by typing, and I would do it as fast as I can, automatically as I can, with some kind of analysis, a basic analysis. Now, it might not be perfect, it might not be fast, but you're timing yourself as fast as possible so that way you don't feel stressed when it comes exam day, because you're going to be at your desk and you're just going to type. You're not even going to think. And that's what we have to get you to on exam day or bar exam day, is where you're not even thinking. You're just looking at that hypothetical and you just know what to do based on this memory of these exam attack sheets that you have. You just typing. And then with the time that you're able to spend, for me, I was able to have 15 minutes for each exam. I was able to do an hour exam in 45 minutes. I didn't have to IRAC on a scrap piece of paper. All I did was write down the core issues, because I had in my head how every single issue was going to be broken down. And then I just did my essay, and then the 15 minutes I had left, I went and checked all my grammar, checked my spelling, I checked if I missed anything, reread the fact pattern, and to make sure that I had that in there. So it bought me time. On exam day, you're not going to have time. And it has to be second nature. And you can't do second nature on exam day. You have to do it way beforehand. So I did these attack sheets. I had 3 months. I did all my assignments. I had 3 months to prepare for my final exam. And every single day, I did at least 3 to 5 hypotheticals. Someday I only did 1 because it was tough. It was challenging. So I had to focus on, okay, where am I getting this wrong? Look for where you're getting things wrong and be brave enough to confront that so you can spend extra time on those things that you're getting wrong, because we have to make perfect. Practice makes perfect. So these essay attack sheets have a purpose. One of them is to visually break down the analysis in your mind. 2, to make you comfortable in going through a step-by-step analysis. 3, to create muscle memory and experiential learning. And 4, to shave down time on your exam day, so that way you can properly and instinctively make your analysis. And you have time to correct any work or review your work. So I'm going to make these attack sheets available in my shop. What I have now for torts, contracts, and criminal law is about 40 pages, and it's the main issues. It doesn't have all the issues. So you have to go through and you have to create your own attack sheets in addition to what I've given you. But I'm going to sell these in the shop, and they'll be available in the shop, and they're going to be printed and bound for you with a table of contents, so it's easy for you to find. And I want you to study them. I want you to copy them until it becomes second nature, and then practice your hypos, do as many as you can, and then see what happens on exam day. For me, it saved my life. This is not my process. I learned this from Scott Carone, who's in my resources page. So if you're a law school student anywhere in America, you can actually contact him and get Zoom lessons from him. He is an incredible tutor, and I'm so grateful for what he's done for me in helping me to break through this component of essay analysis. So if you're struggling with essay analysis and you feel like you know the law, and you've studied it, you've done your briefs, you feel like you know the law, but you're like, oh my gosh, I've got this hypo in front of me, I don't know how to approach it. Try this out. And I do recommend getting some tutoring if you can on how to do this step by step. But I do kind of give you this streamlined approach for breaking down your core issues. Criminal law is easy because all you have to do is just figure out, is it conspiracy, solicitation, what are the laws that have been broken, put them down one by one. But then you have tort law, which requires, products liability is massive, so you have to remember all of that. And then you have contracts law, and then you have all of these like UCC, and then you have the common law, and what's the approach in the common law, what's the approach with UCC, what are the damages, and then you have to look at the remedies and the election of remedies, because the person can elect their remedies, and you have to pitch, which one is most likely to be the most preferable remedy, and this and that. So that's the approach that I'm going to give to you here, is just helping you to streamline that process of studying for exam analysis. This is what we're doing. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful to you. You can make your own. I'm going to do one more share screen with you just to kind of show you some of these examples here. So we do have products liability, okay? We have negligent infliction of emotional distress, right? I'm going to zoom down to another section. Nuisance. Nuisance is a common one. For real property type of problems, that goes right into there. You're just going to make it broken down. What is nuisance? Nuisance is it a public nuisance? Is it a private nuisance? And then what are the defenses to that? We're just going to make it easy. Negligence, of course. Here we go. The same thing, duty, breach, actual cause, proximate cause, damages. And then, of course, we have, joint tortfeasors. Are there multiple joint tortfeasors in there, and any evidentiary rules when necessary? Public disclosure of private facts. Intrusion upon seclusion. I like doing this one with my kids because they're always intruding upon somebody's seclusion. Explaining what that is. Appropriation of likeness, false light. This is fun when you have friends who are talking about drama and they're gossiping with each other, and you can describe to them what false light is. Battery, assault, trespass to chattels, conversion of chattels, all the common ones that you'll see on the exam. And I put that at table of contents in there. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you're a visual learner, I definitely recommend it. If you're somebody who gets exam anxiety, definitely do these. And if you're just feeling overwhelmed by like the essay exam analysis process, do this. If you have an easier time with the MBEs, that you're probably struggling with the exams. If you're having issues with that, try this approach. Make your own. You don't have to buy mine. Make your own. Try your own. If you have a professor who has office hours, go meet with them. Get your money's worth. Get a little bit of extra help, or hire a tutor. I recommend Scott Carone, and have your own process. You can do this. You can make it easy and simple. These are my tips to help you make your exam writing experience easy. And then when you just do it, then you just hear a case and you just know how to break it down in your mind. You can see the pictures in your head. You can see the flow in your mind. And that's what I'm trying to give to you is that instinctive, intuitive analysis process in your imagination, because you're a visual learner. So thanks for joining me. I'm Leslie Juvenet-Guerre, Law School for Visual Learners. If you like this video, subscribe, get notifications, go to the blog and join the blog as a member. And every time I make a post, you'll automatically get emailed with an update. So that way you will never miss anything from me. And if you like, subscribe to this channel, join us on Instagram, Law School for Visual Learners. Sometimes I put hot tips in there that I don't put on the blog or I don't put on YouTube. And yeah, come to the shop and see if there's something in there that you like. We got lots of visual outlines and other tools. So thanks for joining me and have a great time. We're here to dispel the myth that law school is for the elite, the super smart, because law is something that is fun and easy to learn. I'm here to help you facilitate that journey.